Guys, it is 2022 and it is time to finally upgrade your wallet. Our friends at Ridge are here to help you step up your pocket game. This incredible wallet is light, sleek, and industrial. It doesn't fold or awkwardly bulge out of your back pocket. Ridge wallets hold to 12 cards, plus all the cash that you need. Choose from over 30 colors and styles, including carbon fiber and burnt titanium. It is the best wallet you can buy, and you don't have to just take my word for it, because there's over 30,000 five-star reviews. I was skeptical at first, but once I tried it, I never went back, and I'm so sure you'll love it that there's no pressure. Test this thing out for 45 days. If you don't love it, send it back, get a full refund. When you decide to keep it, as you will, there's a lifetime warranty. Go to ridge.com/Chael, or just click the link in the description below to get 10% off with free worldwide shipping and returns. All right, guys, so I had to go to the Apex. Do you guys remember Robert Follis? Robert Follis, I was one of his original students. I mean, we were teammates. He came from the Straight Blast Gym, was trained by Matt Thornton, starts running Team Quest, but before Robert ran Team Quest, he was trying to be a fighter himself. So he was just a guy working out at Team Quest. So when I tell you I was one of the original ones, there was only 3 of us there. Robert was a training partner. All of a sudden, he's no longer got fight aspirations. He's going to be the coach. We lost him. We lost him a couple of years ago, and UFC Fight Pass is making a documentary-style piece on Robert Follis. Very beautiful, and I got to participate. So I'm just explaining to you guys why I was at the Apex. Now, when I'm at the Apex, on the second floor is the training room. And it's amazing. You want to talk about state of the art? I could go on and on how impressive this thing is, but just for real simple purposes, on one side of the room is a cage, on another side of the room is a matted area. Based on what your workout is for the day is where you will go. Time slots, every 90 minutes a new crew comes in. I'm going to pop out there and check that out. So I go upstairs, there's Chimaev. Now, that was interesting for a few reasons. Number one, to me, and if you were one of the 2 followers over here, then you know we talk about Chimaev all the time. And all we do is go in circles on different rumors that we're hearing about Chimaev, and then we tend to jump in the pool of the rumor that seems the most reasonable. And where that left us off was that Chimaev cannot get into the States. Visa issue. I spoke about that, but I stole that from somebody else who stole that. That was the word going around. Nobody said it wasn't true, so we believed it. I walk upstairs, Chimaev standing right there. What is going on? So I make my way over, and I have met Chimaev, but it was over FaceTime. I interviewed him. Hadn't met him face to face before, so I go ask him about that. And you guys might have seen that. I put a little piece out on social media. It's on Instagram, it's on Twitter right now if you just want to see it, but just showing that Chimaev was there, and he's wearing, UFC shirt, and it says UFC training facility in the background, so you know where he's at. Boom, there's the establishing shot. 2 days prior to that, it does get revealed to us all that Chimaev is going to be fighting Burns next pay-per-view, which happens to be April 9th in Jacksonville, Florida. So we knew that things were getting worked out. But the Chimaev clues are very hard. Had I not seen him with my own eyes, if somebody else had told me the story, I don't know if I'd tell you guys it was true. I had to be there, and then when I was there, I still didn't want to come and tell you guys it was true. It's why I videoed it. I'm not really social media make a video guy. But I needed to document where he was, what was going on, because it's a clue on Chimaev. The most interesting guy in the sport that we have a hard time getting absolute facts around. Okay, hold that thought, because after the fight, Dana's at the press conference. I'm talking Saturday night. Dana goes to a press conference, talks about Chimaev, and says Chimaev versus Burns is a #1 contenders fight. I don't see why it wouldn't be. Well, that's a big clue. I mean, not only is this the co-main event of the next pay-per-view that all of our attention starting on Tuesday of this week is going to be focused around, but now we've got purpose. Why would Chimaev and Burns fight? That's always bothered me. What is this about? Well, now I know. If it's the #1 contenders fight, now I know, and that's great news for Gilbert Burns, too. Gilbert Burns has done everything right. Everybody loves Gilbert Burns, and for Gilbert Burns to take this risk, Gilbert Burns is one guy who has said yes repeatedly to some very heavy lifting, and the only thing he's ever gotten from it is asked to do more heavy lifting. So when Dana said that, it made me feel good, and it was also right. The reason it's right is because the last time Dana spoke about Chimaev was at the Madison Square Garden press conference. Colby versus Usman Part 2, and Dana said he's 4 fights. Talking about Chimaev, he's 4 fights away from being in a conversation for number one contendership. So that's changed. 4 fights just become a fight. But that sounds more right, doesn't it? I mean, if Chimaev, if anybody can get through Burns, can we agree they deserve to fight for a championship? And maybe they won't. Because you still got Luque, you still have Blahal, you still have other guys. I'm just saying the word deserve. They could be the guy. The same thing for Burns. If he's going to go out and do this heavy lifting like he always does over the one guy that nobody wants to fight, but he's willing to put his name on and go fight, he's got to get something. So great news. We've got some clarity. Now, I talk about Chimaev once a week. I come to you guys and I say, okay, this week's topic on Chimaev. So I had some questions for Chimaev that I've been asking you. We go in the comment section. We all try to figure it out back and forth. But one of those questions is, why 170? Why not 185? Well, when I was standing with him, my opinion changed. He's a 170-pounder. If he was going to go to 85, and I know he's done it a couple times, but he's also talking about going up to 205, he's going to maybe need a little time. Maybe not as much as Jon Jones, maybe not just fully focused, but right now he needs to be a 70-pounder, particularly if he is talking about this champ thing. Over time, as human beings, we don't get smaller. We get a little bit bigger. He's in the right order. He's going 170, but it's also relevant because the most that he's ever weighed in his life, and I asked him this, in his life, not training, not sweating, not the most he's ever got on a scale, and that scale set is 188 pounds. But that was the most. He's usually around 181. So I'm just bringing this to you that he's a 70-pounder. And I said to him, well, I watched you wrestle Jack Hermanson. And seeing you and Jack's a good-sized middleweight, seeing you and Jack, you looked bigger to me. And he said no. He said, I've had a lot of people tell me that, but I can tell you from grabbing Jack was big and strong. Okay, great. This is going nowhere else other than I met Chimaev. I got some of these questions out finally. Now, I did really love that Dana tied this up. 4 fights. Right, that's a rough number. That could be 3, that could be 2. I always interpret it as a period of time. About a year and 3 months is how I interpreted it. Which by the time he gets done with Gilbert, Kamaru's got business with Leon. Got to see who comes out of that. You set the fight up. You're over halfway there. Now, that's only one piece of the game. I will tell you right now, Blahal Muhammad is not going to take this laying down. Vincent Luque is not going to take this laying down. They will have the final word. And as we all well know and agree to, we're going to adheresely adhere to the rules in MMA that we make up on the spot. So let's see where this goes. But the battle is at least continuing. Some of the pieces are falling into place. And now we've got even more reason to be curious and to pay attention to Chimaev versus Burns.